So we go down this river, and we end up running our boats up on the sides of this little river at nighttime. Well, the Nippopalm came right down to the bank. They could be standing 2 yards away from you beyond the bow, and you probably couldn't see them. So we were feeling very vulnerable that somebody would sneak up and throw some hand grenades or whatever. So we all stayed awake all night with our guns ready. And the artillery fired the big flares that would last a minute, all night. So we were there. We were blocking, as was our role. So the next day, we're ordered back out. We were exhausted, and that was, for sheer fear, that was scary, because you were somewhat defenseless. At least it felt that way, being in the open like that. So we go out, and I am the lead boat in my Mike 2, and leading the whole band. And command decided, because it was so dangerous and we had these problems, that they would walk artillery out ahead of us along the banks. So they were doing this quite successfully, and we came around a bend and had a nice straightaway. So we're going down the river, and I'm aware that they're walking artillery around out in front of us, and all of a sudden, about 100 yards away, a 105 shell drops right into more or less the middle of the river. And command is aware of that. I'm not command, so I'm just taking care of 6 tango boats or so. And so they're radioing, and it happens. We were in some kind of little radio blackout area, and they kept saying, "Ceasefire, turn it off." Well, it wasn't happening. And they started walking these shells down, and finally one hit not very far from us. And it all happened very quickly, but spatially I could see that the next shell was actually going to hit our boat. And one time in my life where I knew I was dead. We were in this blackout. Nothing could be done. No time to turn the boat out of the way. And one time in my life, I just said, "I'm dead." And they turned it off. The word finally got through. The last shell never fell. And if it had, I wouldn't be here talking with you today. Me and my crew would be dead, because there was no question spatially about where we were and where those shells were falling.